Hey YouTube, it's your girl Chic from Chic Speaks on It. I'm coming to you today with a video. Listen, y'all know I normally do lives, but today I just wanted to keep it short and sweet and talk about Sarah Wynn-Williams. Some of you may ask, Chic, who is Sarah Wynn-Williams? Sarah Wynn-Williams is a former Meta, formerly known as Facebook, executive. She recently published a book on March 11, 2025, titled Careless People. And in that book, she shared just details pertaining to her experience working for Mark Zuckerberg. Child, that's not even the alarming part. The alarming part is that she recently testified before the Senate Judiciary Committee, April 9th, which happened to be the first day of those tariffs that President Trump was supposed to implement, but he decided to give him another 90 days. Listen, y'all know I get into all that on my lives. But this video, I want to talk about Sarah, Miss Wynn-Williams, Sarah Wynn-Williams. So Sarah testified before the Judiciary Committee on April 9, 2025, just about 3 days ago. And in her testimony, she talked about Mark Zuckerberg being in cahoots with China, the Chinese government. You may wonder, like, well, what that mean? Well, what that means is that he was building strong relationships with the Chinese government in exchange for money. So while he was getting his pockets lined, the Chinese government was gaining access to the American people's personal information, the information that many of us, including myself, put on social media, Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg also owns Instagram. I happen to hold both a Facebook and an Instagram account. I'm looking into seeing how I can go about changing that. But listen, as of today, I hold accounts for Facebook and Instagram. So she talked about how Mark Zuckerberg created these business deals going back to like 2014, centered around giving the Chinese government access to the American people information. So all that little that information that you put out there on your social media accounts, he was selling that information to the Chinese government for financial gain. Now, fast forward to today, he denies all of that. He's like, yo, Sarah, you listen, I'm hitting you with this this order for you to stop talking. If you continue to talk and mention the name Facebook, you will be hit with $50,000 every time. I repeat, Mark Zuckerberg him and his team has informed Sarah Wynn-Williams in writing. They delivered a nice little note to her door. Listen, sis said she thought it was some flowers being delivered to her as a result of her book being published on March 11, 2025. No, she said when she went to that door, it was a notice, a cease and desist notice that said, listen, I'm gonna need for you to stop talking. If you continue to talk, you will be fined $50,000 for each time you mention Facebook in public. That did not scare her away, because since then, she has spoken before the Judiciary Committee, the Senate of Judiciary Committee, about her experience working for Mark Zuckerberg. Now, let me tell y'all some of the things she said that was popping off at the then Facebook, because she said she worked for him from 2011 until the end of 2017. She said with Facebook, because they have access to your information, it's Mark Zuckerberg's platform. So teenagers, they're children, ages 13 to 17. They would target young girls, ages 13 to 17, who just showed signs of being depressed. Y'all know girls be going through the motions. Y'all know we be going through the motions. One day we feeling cute. The next day we like, listen, I need to schedule me a whole appointment to just fix something. Y'all know how it go. So for teenage girls, they would pay attention to the type of things that they would post on their social media. For example, if they saw a young girl would remove a selfie from her platform, they would think, maybe she's not feeling attractive, feeling cute. So, we can probably get some ads together that can show up in her feed, in her recommendations, that would be centered around her wanting to make some changes to herself. This is what he was doing with that information. So he would sell it to advertisers to be like, yo, like, I see that you advertise this particular surgery. It might be a surgery centered around cosmetics, a surgery centered around an advertisement centered around having cosmetic surgery. So not only the products, but like even surgeries. He would sell this information to these companies. So therefore, if the companies were like, yo, like, I'm interested, he would run those ads in the feed and the recommendations of these people who were going through it. For example, I'm talking about teenage girls, ages 13 to 17, because that's a big, huge target. According to what Sarah Wynn-Williams is saying, that is a large target that Facebook has. I'm guessing maybe that's the bulk of their audience, ages 13 to 17. But she said that they would strategically put these ads in the recommendation of these young girls. Now, look, boys, they ain't leaving the boys out either. Now, when it comes to the boys, they would pay attention to see if the boys are like depressed. So if the boys were showing any signs of depression, they will also put ads and things in their face to where they could capitalize off of like this young man, this boy, remember age 13 to 17, feeling depressed. Over the years, we've heard about many cases where there's been teenagers, young kids who have offed themselves because of feeling depressed, and they were heavy on social media platforms, i.e. Facebook, Instagram, all of that. So we all know that is a thing. So Facebook had been capitalizing off of the detriment, the insecurities of young Americans ages 13 to 17. She said it was so bad to where like the executives and people who worked for Facebook, like they didn't even allow their children to even play around on these platforms, like have a Facebook account or Instagram. They like, you crazy? My kids don't be on here. I know I work here, but my kid, because I work here is the reason why my kids aren't on this platform, because they know the ins and the outs and the behind the scenes behind what's we don't know. Kind of like some of y'all be like, I ain't eat at that restaurant because you know you used to work there. Your old man used to work there. Your kids used to work there. And people told you like what be popping off in that establishment, in that kitchen, kind of like that. So executives already knew that like this ain't what you want. My children are staying far, far away from this platform. But guess who children were not exempt? Bingo, your children, my children, anyone's children who parents are not employed by Facebook, who know better. Children were able to get this work, meaning to have their information spread across the globe, to have their information sold over to China, and to have ads strategically placed before them that wasn't put before them for their betterment. Listen, this is what that woman said. Y'all need to get into the testimony. She testified. It's about probably under 2 hours, the video that I watched. So she testified before the Senate Judiciary Committee on April 9th, 2025. She is what you would call a whistleblower. Then Zuckerberg and his team have been coming at her strong. But she was like, listen, I got to do what I got to do. I got to stand on business. I got to put this out here. This is not right. When I was there, I would have certain type of conversations to let them know that I'm not really feeling this. By trade, this woman also is an attorney and an author. So she has a lot of credentials behind her. So this ain't just some regular disgruntled employee. This is a woman who has a lot on the line. And when I was looking at the comments of the video for her testimony, a lot of people were concerned about her safety. I will admit, just 2 minutes into her testimony, my mind went there. I'm like, Lord, please protect this woman at all costs, Many people in the comments wondered if the government would provide her security because she's risking it all. This woman is risking it all. And y'all know how that go. Next thing you know, they didn't put out there, somebody didn't off theyself because they was going through it, and now she depressed. She depressed because remember, she said they was the ones trying to capitalize off of the depressed children. So usually when somebody start talking or say they're going to talk, then they are just no longer with us. Listen, y'all, y'all know I ain't making this issue up. This is how it goes. I want to just come out here and just let you all know, for those who weren't aware of this story that's trending right now, if you just go on any pretty much internet search engine, you're going to see it. Type in the name Sarah Wynn-Williams. It will come up. You can even go to YouTube if you're interested in listening to her testimony. But it was very deep. She has receipts. So if you're concerned about, okay, well, how she knew all this, what proof does she have? She has it all. She worked there from 2011 until the end of 2017. Sis knows it all. She said that Zuckerberg and his deal, the deal that he had with China, was worth over $18 billion. She said this man is financially vested. He's vested. So as he talk about, we don't do nothing with China, she said that is a bold-faced lie. That's a bold-faced lie. And the thing that really puzzles her is that company is worth so much money to where these shenanigans that they be on, she's like, they don't even need to do all that because Zuckerberg makes so much money. So it's like, what are we doing, sir? Why do you continuously want to prey on the vulnerable, which happens to be the children, because his target audience is children ages 13 through 17. So what I want to leave you all with, parents, even those who may have nieces and nephews, get into your children's business. Monitor what they're putting on social media, because these things that they're putting on social media are the very things that the advertisements are being tailored around. They're being geared towards. So if your child putting things out there centered around their feelings and emotions and not really feeling the best, ads are being centered around that. They're being centered around feeding into it, not trying to help the child so that they'll feel better. No. That just makes too much sense. That's too much like right. It ain't even going down like that. The ads are tailored to basically give your child a little push towards wherever their mind was at. This ad is gonna kind of push you towards it. And that's not cool. It's not cool. It's messed up on so many levels. It's very, very disturbing. So Sarah Wynn-Williams is what you would call a whistleblower. So I hope that the U.S. government protects her at all costs. Also, the people want to know if Pam Bondi gonna roll up on Zuckerberg. If the Trump administration gonna say, Zuckerberg, let me holler at you. I know you was at the rallies. You might have donated a few dollars or whatever, but we need to talk to you. Because remember, China is the country that's currently holding out when it comes to the tariffs. Y'all, this is deep. So when I heard the name China, I said, we definitely need to cut ties with China for many, many reasons beyond this whole tariff situation. And I hope, guess what? We cut ties with Mark Zuckerberg. Y'all get in the comments. Let me know your thoughts pertaining to this situation. Are you here for Sarah Wynn-Williams putting her life on the line? She is a mother of 3 children. She's a mother like many of you. She's a parent like many of you. Let me know. Say a prayer for this woman. Do whatever, woosah, do a seance, whatever you need to do that can just send good energy around this woman, because she's saying what needs to be said. Drop a comment, like the video, subscribe, stay tuned for future content, future live. I'm Chic, and I'll catch you on the next broadcast. Peace.